Should horoscopes be important in relationships? Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you, man. You know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Welcome back to the channel, man. Y'all do me a favor. As soon as you come into the building, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, man. Y'all know we had to bring some heat tonight for this topic about astrology, horoscopes, and relationships, and that kind of thing, man. So I'm expecting y'all to get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all are thinking. And so before we jump into this, y'all know I got to introduce my resident relationship expert. I'm gonna let her tell who she is and what she's sipping on tonight. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me back, JB. That is not my title.
I've been calling you that every week for how long?
That's just for decoration. Tonight, I don't know what this is gonna taste like. So I made me this little concoction, and I know, probably. So I started off with chocolate Baileys. That's what I started off. But then I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And so I mixed in some regular Baileys with it. So I don't know what this is going to taste like.
That's actually probably going to be good. That's going to taste like
a
chocolate martini.
I ain't put nothing else in it, so I don't know what it's
going
to taste like.
So, double cordial. Okay, guys.
We double. See. I need some on top of this fire, guys. We're going to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. Rhonda to hit that fire, guys. So she probably going to be sleeping by the time this is over with, man. Appreciate you being on. Y'all know I'm back at it, man. Got my Buffalo Trace. Little Robusto right here, man. Solid stick. I had to run in and get something real fast for the podcast. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to get me a stick. So got my Buffalo Trace cigar. Solid stick. And of course, got my 4 roses. You know, just a small batch tonight, guys. That's all we drinking tonight, small batch. So I got to get into this thing because I was gonna do my Surfsides until I looked in the fridge and realized the Surfsides were gone. So now you get to get the bourbon. So when we talk about this thing, guys, Rhonda, when you got the topic regarding astrology, horoscopes, right, zodiac signs, all this stuff in relationship, tell me the first thing that came to your mind.
Well, I'm a big believer certain signs and stuff should not be together. That's just what I believe anyway. As far as it pertains though to horoscopes and being intertwined with your relationships, I don't know about that one because things change daily, but I do believe if certain zodiac signs get together, there's either a lot of compatibility or a lot of combustion.
And I like that. Compatibility and combustion. Y'all write that down for all y'all people taking notes. Compatibility or combustion.
And so I do believe that for people who believe it, I think it works for them. I'm gonna just say it like that. I think for people who believe, as with anything in life, if you believe something, then that's what it's gonna be for you.
Okay. Now I appreciate that because guys, when it got sent to me about horoscopes and astrology and do I believe in, signs and all this kind of stuff, my first thing was I'm gonna discuss it, but I don't know much about it. So y'all know how I get down. I start getting articles sent to me and that kind of thing, and then that sends me on my own scavenger hunt for articles that I can talk about. And one of the things I'm gonna do with this podcast tonight, unfortunately, I wasn't able to send Rhonda the articles prior to recording, so she's gonna be giving y'all raw reaction. She's gonna be giving y'all raw reaction once she sees these. But one of the things I want to say, Rhonda, the way I'm gonna take this thing is I'm gonna show y'all this article I found on astrology, zodiac signs, compatibility, and then because my whole point is I don't know if I believe in compatibility, and that's why we're gonna give you an article about astrology and zodiac signs, and then we're gonna switch to an article where I want to show you just 10 signs of compatibility. Because I'm a Leo, Rhonda a Cancer, right? And one of the things y'all gonna find is if you start getting too deep into this stuff and you don't understand that as moons and things start aligning different, it don't matter that maybe you were compatible with somebody doing this moon or this sun. That compatibility goes if things shift. And that was some of the things that I found interesting when I was reading this article that I'm about to show you guys. So, Rhonda, I'm going to jump right into this article,
Okay.
and we're going to read a little bit of it and get your thoughts as we go. Y'all give me a second. And for all of y'all listening on Spotify or Amazon Music, the link gonna be in the description, guys. So we're going over here to today.com. Rhonda, let me know if you can see that.
I can.
Okay. We're going over here to get today.com. Is astrological compatibility real? What? Okay. Guess I ain't got to read this article since Rhonda already made up her mind.
Yes.
But the worst counselor ever. Ain't even let me get to. Is
Yes.
astrological compatibility real? What zodiac signs go well together? Now, guys, I can tell you this is a little bit of a long article, okay? So, the art of compatibility is more complicated than asking what's your sign. Okay, now this is over at today.com, so y'all watch the Today Show. Okay? Now, this came out it was updated January 18th, 2024. Initially came out in November 2022. As an astrologer, I can usually predict where a one-on-one reading with a client is heading. Chances are they're going to ask me about love. How to get it, how to hold on to it, how to move on from it is top of mind. And I totally get it. Love is complicated, and people look to astrology to shine a light on the bonds that make our lives. In my work as an astrologer, I have seen people approach romance differently depending on their birth chart, a map of the planet placements at the time of their birth. For example, Cancers have a tough exterior, but feel things intensely. And I told y'all, Rhonda, Cancer, I'm a Leo, right?
And that's all
Now,
true.
Rhonda, Cancer has a tough exterior,
That's all
but feel
true.
things. That's true. Okay,
It's true.
all right.
Yeah.
It might be this. Hey guys, come tell. I ain't never subscribed to this stuff, but
You are
Rhonda, stay
tonight.
right there if you can.
You will after tonight.
Leos want to shine a light on their loved one and have the same done back. Libras love love and so are attracted to signs like Pisces who love it back. Okay? Now, but there's a reason why. So what's your sign is such a popular topic on first date. Legend has it that certain sun sign pairings are said to be extra compatible, which is probably why people are out there looking for the perfect matches. Cancers for their Tauruses, Leos for their Sagittarius. Now, this is stuff, guys, I really never subscribed to, right? But is astrological compatibility real? Years of working as an astrologer and watching real life relationships unfold have made me reflect on the topic. Here's what I learned and why the question, what's your sign, doesn't cut it. Now, guys, I'm going to scroll down a little bit because I'm going to jump, right? I'm going to jump down. Okay, she said, here we go. Look at the elements, right? Can you see that, Ron?
Yes.
Okay, two people whose sun signs fall in the same elements, guys. Fire, earth, air, and water tend to mesh well because they have similar approaches and value. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Water signs Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, Rhonda, I heard you say, Is that something you have heard before? These sun signs and okay.
Yeah.
So when you see Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, is this saying that if you're in water signs, you need to look for Scorpio and Pisces since you're a Cancer?
No, personally, I don't agree with that being with the same sign, because if y'all in the same font, then that ain't good. Then if y'all on the same, no, I like how it said Taurus is like, now, do I get along great with other Cancers? Scorpios, not so much. Pisces, those my people. But is like I have a friend, a Pooh. She's a Pisces.
Yep.
But then I have my girl. Did I see Gemini up there? Okay, air signs.
Gemini's on the air sign.
I got my girl Tisha, my girl Donna. They're Geminis, right? So it just like how the friends compatibility. Now, as far as dating goes, no, I mean, would I consider dating another Cancer? Possibly.
Okay.
But we some sensitive people, man. We some moody people. And then we ready to cut you like we ain't never met you before. It's a bunch of stuff that goes on. So
nice.
so it just depends. I would like to hope that I've grown out of my moodiness, but no, it'll hit me, and then once you done cross me, I'm like, oh, I don't care if you
Oh, it's
breathe or
over, right?
not.
It's over.
Yeah.
Once you done cross me, and I've accepted the fact that it ain't no need for me to keep trying. That's the key too, and that's what I'm saying, guys. This lady is telling you to ask the people what's
Hmm.
their sun sign and their moon sign. So these
Absolutely.
are sun
I'm
signs.
Capricorn and Leo.
The sextile rule, guys. Within astrology, a sextile is a harmonious and understanding aspect formed when planets are 60 degrees apart. Read on to find out what signs are sextile your sun sign.
Mm.
Individuals with their sun in these two signs are also traditionally compatible with yours. Aries, y'all can see it. Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces. Gemini, Aries, Leo. Cancer, Taurus, Virgo. Right now, you're Cancer. What do you think about Virgo and Taurus?
Um, Taur. See, I don't know too much about Virgos. I think maybe that's like September time, like right before Libra
Late
or
August,
something.
late August after
Oh, okay,
Leo
yeah, yeah, but right before,
in
so after
September,
Leo, but before Libras though, and
and yeah,
so
before Libras. Yes, yeah,
but after Leo and before Libras.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I would have to think on it to be honest, because I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how many Virgos I've actually interacted with. Um, but Taurus is the ones I have as friends, man. I mean, I get along great with them till they get on my
Mm-hmm.
nerves. But yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because it says Gemini and Libra, and I don't know anybody who's a Gemini, and I don't know anybody who's a Libra. But the funny thing is, I guess I never asked these questions back when I was in the dating pool,
Mm-hmm.
right? You kind of ask person their birthday, but you don't. I guess I never took it to
Oh no, I
knowing,
gotta
and
know the
it,
date and everything. Like,
you,
tell me.
you get. I got to know if you're a July Leo or August
Yes,
Leo,
that's
right?
true now. That's real.
Right. That's what they say about Virgos, right? Are you a August Virgo or September Virgo?
Every sign
And it's
has that.
crazy.
Yeah, every
So
sign
Virgo,
has that.
Cancer, Scorpio, Libra, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, Sagittarius is Libra and Aquarius, and Capricorn is Scorpio and Pisces. Aquarius is Sagittarius and Aries, and Pisces is Taurus, Capricorn. But this is what got me when I was reading this article, guys. The
Hmm.
sun sign is only part of the story. And
Absolutely.
see, what I'm trying to tell people is if you're gonna go down this route and make your decision based on astrology and horoscopes and zodiac signs, man, this is a whole college course right here.
But it's
If
real.
not a whole college major, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what she said is, so if your pairing with your boo didn't make the list of compatible signs, fear not. I see incompatible matches thriving all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Dreamy Pisces enjoying chatty and logical Geminis, despite write-ups of sun sign compatibility saying otherwise. Okay? So she said how moon signs, Venus signs, and more play into compatibility. So the moon, I'm skipping a little bit, guys. The moon signifies emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury is an expression and communication. Venus dictates our love language. Mars is our
Mm-hmm.
libido and passion. Jupiter
Mm-hmm.
expands sentiments. Saturn is the glue that holds people together.
Mm-hmm.
Uranus awakens our hearts. Neptune adds a dreamy and unconditional element to love, and Pluto expresses desires. Now, for some of y'all, make sure y'all know the planets, because we
Well,
ain't
you
going
need
to
to
go
stop.
back. Y'all need to make sure you went to science class. Make sure you went to Mr. Tysinger class back in the day so you can know these planets now because you got to know this stuff.
Well, all people know is Mercury in retrograde. Like that's the one that just gets everybody. But you don't
Look,
want
I'm
Pluto.
just
You don't want Pluto moving too much either. So it just
this.
depends.
This is. I told y'all we're gonna have to say she's the resident relationship and astrology
No, I'm not.
expert. She's spitting this thing. Mercury rules communication,
Yes.
naturally a crucial part of relationships succeeding. Communication is the foundation for every relationship. So I love to see sweet connections within a couple's Mercury placement. And this is what can help establish understanding with the partnership. Rhonda, what do you when you hear Mercury placements? Break that down in the layman's term for these people.
Well, that's the thing. That's all I know is Mercury in retrograde. Now, I will confess. I want to say in 2021, December 2021, I did have my birth chart read because for me that was the safest one to do. And I had never done anything like that before. But all it is, but and it didn't help that our mom, PB, didn't know what time of the day I was born. But hey, I'm gonna get out my feelings with that one because with that you need to know um what time you were born morning, afternoon, evening. But if you had a specific time, they could really go into detail about like why you chose your life path and why you're drawn to certain things based on where the
Mm-hmm.
planets were aligned when you actually entered into this world. So with Mercury, I think Mercury in retrograde
Hold
is
on, Ron. Not to interrupt you. Not what the planets were when you were conceived, but when you came into
no
the world.
when you came into the world. Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, 'cause, hey, that would be a lot going on with conception, but but,
Yeah,
but
some people believe in that component too.
well, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
when she was breaking it down to me, there were different options, and I said I'll do another reading, like later on, a different, because there's no need for me to get my birth chart done again. I've already had it done, but it
Yeah.
was the way she showed me, and I wish I would have pulled it up for tonight. The way she showed me was like there were certain planets in my, and we have houses. It was a whole thing that I did not understand. But when you go in with Mercury in retrograde is so, I think, so well known because people know, oh, something about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if it's gonna be good. You don't know if it's gonna be bad, and most of the time, it's not that great, right? That's when
But
relationships end, lives end, all that kind of stuff.
and
And so,
y'all see this, guys. Mercury rules communication. I want to make sure y'all
mm-hmm,
see that in this article. That says Mercury naturally a critical part of relationships
mm-hmm,
succeeding. We're gonna jump right into this moon placement. Okay. Moon signs play a vital role in how someone emotionally connects with another. When one partner's moon sign is in the same as the other sun sign, it really helps each person to understand one another. Affection can exist between moon signs and stare at a harsh connection too. A Leo and a Scorpio moon pair may have a difficult time at first.
mm-hmm,
The Leo moon might be suspicious of Scorpio's secret keeping, while the
mm-hmm.
Scorpio moon isn't fond of the Leo's drama. Now I don't know too many Leos that had drama,
Oh, y'all
but
all have drama.
both sides are extremely
Are
loyal
you
to
kidding me?
those to those they care about. They just have to get the opportunity to prove themselves. Now, guys, I got to tell y'all this now. That line right there, when I was reading that, both sides are extremely loyal to those they care about.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to get the opportunity to prove themselves. And right now, guys, there ain't a whole lot of people with social media out there, people out here, man, in these streets. You ain't gonna get a chance to prove yourself, right? Like you might get one or two dates tops. Like that's the difference now. And that's why, Rhonda, I wanted to discuss this because this ain't something you're gonna find out in one or two dates, right? In order for this thing to work, I got to have some time to watch some things shift and that
Yeah,
kind of
but
thing.
you got books, you got resources that you could pull up. Look,
Yeah.
not now. You can't reach out to me now. But give me their birthday. I got a book that'll tell you exactly how they supposed to be, so you won't be. And I think that's the thing, right? Like as much stuff as people want to know now, you know how everybody want things instant and want stuff to be
Mm-hmm.
ready and their way and all of that kind of stuff. I think knowing if your zodiac sign is compatible, and yeah, if you go even deeper with your sun and your moon, rising and things like that, I think in the long run it will help, but I think it'll also help you communicate better because you already
Yeah.
know what you're dealing with. So that's why I think these
And I
things are
think it's
important.
interesting. Let me ask you this, Rhonda, going off track a little bit. Why don't you think marriage counselors do this before people get married, or
Because
are they doing it before
because
people get married?
no, oh no, absolutely not. They're not doing it. No, again, when something gets Americanized, then they put fear in people to stay away from something like this.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
no, it should be a part of it. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But again, it may be taboo because what astrology may lead to tarot card readings or Wiccan
Yes.
stuff, like
Yes.
witchcraft type stuff. But look, y'all,
It,
they were fine before y'all came and introduced whatever
well, but let's be
stuff.
honest, guys. Your relationship, you probably are rooted in some type of Christianity, right? Most of us who looking at approaching relationships, it's either a traditional Christianity relationship, traditional Jewish relationship, traditional Muslim relationship, right? If we broke the three major religions down, so now all of a sudden, I can't see nobody in those religions or those traditions. When I see the tarot card person, she on the corner on Burger Street. She ain't out there where you can actually walk right by her. So
Hmm. We can make that
all this
happen.
seems to, yes, all these things seem to have happened in back in the booth in the corner in the dog type stuff,
Absolutely
right?
taboo.
It's
Absolutely.
taboo, like you said. So, guys, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna jump into Venus signs, right? She said the planet of love and social graces, Venus wanders through our charts, reminding us of the type of partnership we are looking for. For example, who has Venus and Pisces is looking for a fairy tale romance, whereas
Absolutely.
someone with Venus and Virgo has a list of romantic needs that need to be met before they can open their heart. We all have different romantic desires, but Venus ushers us toward achieving them and escalating things to the next level. And Ron, I guess I'm just having a hard time. I don't see anybody putting in work like this.
Well, it sounds like you fascinated to me. It sounds like
But
you're very
I'm very
interested.
fascinated because
Yes,
let me tell you
that's
this.
what it
I
sounds
told
like.
y'all before we started. When I do these podcasts, look, man, I never went to this type of depth, right? I never went to this type of depth. Never experienced it. But what you'll see when you become a podcaster, when you become a YouTuber, a lot of people send you stuff they want you to talk about because they can't talk about it. And I think that's the best part about what I got going on. I mean,
But
I don't know if I would have gone through all of this, is what I'm saying.
but this is the beginnings of letting you know how toxic your relationship gonna be.
Now,
Without you
some people
asking
take
that person a lot of outside of asking them when you were born or like what's your birthday, and you do that
yeah,
base sign, it at least give you a heads up. I'm like, ooh, okay, this how toxic or combustible, or how compatible we're gonna be,
yes, absolutely, guys.
or why Scorpio may be like on edge or just real questionable about things. You'll understand that, but
Yeah,
as somebody who's a Cancer, that's too much because it's like, well, dang, like
absolutely, guys.
you
This might
know,
explain, and again, I can see this really tying into that emotional realm. I'm more of
absolutely
a logical guy, which is probably why
full
I
of
never went
emotion,
this.
but logical. But go ahead.
I'm definitely full of it. I just kind of suppress it just
Yeah,
because shit. You got work to do.
because you're a Leo. You're a Leo.
Yeah,
You got to keep the main thing the main thing.
yeah. Got to
I'm the
keep it.
lion. Y'all hear me roar and
I
then tell
got
me
that.
how
I
great
got
I
to stay
look.
focused. Well, I am fine though. Well,
Because
now I gotta
that's
get a
what
haircut.
Leos do. Yeah.
But I gotta get a haircut. Jay gonna cut me up. He gonna cut me up this week. I won't look like this next week. But my point to you guys is, as I was reading this, I wanted to bring it on because I didn't know. And this was on the Today Show, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't in the back in the booth in the corner in the dark no more.
Mm-hmm.
This on the morning, one of the number one morning shows in America. So when I saw this, and right, I hope I pronounced this right, synastry, or aspects between charts. They said if you really want to get a feel for a relationship, then it's worth getting a synastry reading with a professional astrologer. It's the practice of showing how two charts are in conversation with one another. And
Mm-hmm.
looks at the aspects that planetary placements in people's birth charts, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why since you said birth chart, I was making sure I pronounced it right. For example, a sextile aspect, planets placed 60 degrees apart, is considered harmonious. A square, planets 90 degrees apart, is more challenging. And what I'm realizing is, guys, should this be something couples do every 6 months or every year?
Yeah, if them
Because
planets moving, absolutely.
man, these planets moving all the
Yeah.
time, guys.
Yes,
I'm sitting here. You
you
can't
should.
understand why things going good one time and then the next time you can't. Y'all ain't getting along at all.
Yes.
And I
That's why I
said,
was telling you, like this week, it was going to be a level of rage. And look at all the things that have happened over this. Weren't we talking about that last week? Like
mm-hmm,
it's a lot of stuff.
mm-hmm.
It's just under the surface stuff. Pop off
And look at what it said,
with the
guys. They
planets.
said aspects between planets count. For instance, a couple could have a harmonious aspect
Yes.
between their sun signs, but have a
Mm-hmm.
Saturn opposition. This placement indicates that both people monitor and school each other. I've seen this aspect work, but it takes patience and willingness. I'm sitting here like, if the planets are moving all the time and we all circling the
Mm-hmm.
sun,
Mm-hmm.
and we wondering how all of a sudden you walk in the house or they walk in the house and you just mad
Absolutely.
and they can't figure it out. They can't figure it
Absolutely.
out. So if this thing is real, guys,
It
and
is.
let's be honest, what the Greeks really subscribe to this thing, right? The goddesses of love and the
Mm-hmm.
goddesses of fire and all this kind of stuff. So maybe if we got any people rooted in Greek mythology and that kind of thing, be interesting to see if they get down in the comments and let me know. But look at what it says, guys. I wanted to get to this. In the end,
Oh
love
Lord.
trumps astrology.
Let me insert another word.
Go ahead.
Toxicity. Toxicity trumps astrology.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Now, Rhonda said, and if y'all go back down way back when we first started doing these podcasts on YouTube, go back to the YouTube podcast on why toxic relationships are the best relationships. Because you've decided you gonna override
Mm-hmm.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
and you just gonna fight through. You gonna fight through some of this stuff, right?
Yeah. How we gonna move the
And
planet? We
how
gonna
we
move the planet.
look at what she said, guys. The heart want what the heart want. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what your sun sign or birth chart says. Relationships require work, even if they're full of sex styles and positive aspects. Taking a deep dive into your charts may lead to revelations about the work that needs to be done. Our charts always provide opportunities for personal evolution, and if you truly love someone that you often butt heads with, there may be a lesson around putting yourself in someone else's shoes and admitting when you're wrong. Guys, I gotta tell y'all, in the end, love trumps astrology. Rhonda, what do you think about that article, man? What was it? Was it credible? You seem to be immersed in this thing enough to
I
make
love
a
stuff like
judgment.
this. I love stuff like this. When love doesn't make sense, you look at their sign and it'll give you a lot of the answers. And like I said, if you could go deeper with
So hold on,
if
Ron, hold on. So you think every couple, married or dating, should have a birth chart?
no, I think every person should have their
You think
birth
every
chart read.
person should have their
Oh,
birth chart read?
absolutely. Yeah, because it'll let you know why you move through life the way you do. You ever just
Hold
be
on. So
around
hold on.
somebody?
Help me understand because I've never heard of that term, birth chart. I'm hearing about it as I started. Where do you go get that read at?
So, well, now, I wear my stones.
Mm-hmm.
I rock my bracelets and stuff. So yeah, most of the time, if you go to one of those, I'm gonna just use this term, metaphysical store.
Okay.
Okay, and metaphysical is where you go. You go get your rose quartz. You go get your amethyst. You go get
Like at the
your.
fair, like at the state fair.
Absolutely not.
Oh, my
Okay,
bad.
no,
My bad.
no,
I'm
sir.
sorry. My bad. I thought it was fair. My bad.
No, I'm talking about a place where you really go, where you really have people who that's what they do. Like how you have people that will I hate to say time travel because that's not the word I want to use, but they're in that realm of the metaphysical, the things that
Okay.
you can't explain, right? So
Okay.
so it's no different than African myths, Native American myths, like
Mm-hmm.
and what else? What's the other term for them? Not bedtime stories, but stuff that gets passed down generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
Fables.
I
I'm
know
gonna
you're
say
talking about.
fables, like stuff like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So they turn them into fables because the things were real, but again,
Mm-hmm.
got Americanized, taboo. We can't do that here. But those things, did exist. But no, your birth chart. I don't know because my lady who I went to, she worked at this place called the Bag Lady, which was a metaphysical store. So it's like if you want to buy real incense, like authentic type stuff, you could do all of that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and certain books and all this kind of stuff. And but she also does other readings. Say like if you're making some big decisions in your career, you go to her for a reading. So it's not
Yeah.
like I see what you're saying to use it as an example because people probably would see people like that at a fair
Yeah.
or
Like
local
honest.
fairs
Yeah.
or
Ron, see, like
or
honest.
in the square in New Orleans.
Yeah. In the
You know what I'm
square,
saying?
you
Yeah,
see
like
people. Savannah. You go to some of these cities, these traditional cities where they talk about a lot of ghosts, a lot of spirits, haunted stuff. It's never been. I've never seen it to where the reason I'm using this article, guys. I didn't even know Today's Show would have something like this up there because it's always kind of been on the outskirts of
hmm
traditional stuff. So for me, I guess that's where I would love to. That's why I asked you where would you go. So now you're telling me a metaphysical
yeah. The
store.
next time we go to Savannah, we should
Mm-hmm.
stop in one. Stop in a place. Not now. Okay, now I'm gonna go here with you and I, right? The family affair. What was
Mm-hmm.
the lady with the hand when we were little? As you went in from Weldon to Roanoke Rapids, what was that lady's name? And she had that little house next to Ralph's Barbecue.
I know you're talking about.
Oh
I
my
know
God, I
exactly.
cannot. So, like, she technically would be like,
Sister Temple. Sister Temple.
yes,
Yes. Y'all got to understand now. Ain't nobody listening to this from Garrisburg, Weldon,
right,
Rapid. But we told her she was right next to Sheriff Furniture where we bought all the furniture from.
yes, Roof
You got
Doctor.
told you got told not to go see her because
Yeah.
she would be and the lady that would lay snakes on you and all that kind of stuff.
hmm
Sister Temple, guys, if she out there,
hmm
man, shout out Sister Temple. I couldn't stop in there, but I know exactly where you were.
But
Boy,
yeah,
Holy
those stores
Spirit.
like that,
Thank you,
and
Holy
those people
Spirit.
will walk up to you You could be in one of those stores and they'll say, "Ooh, what brings you in today?" You let them know, like, "Hey, I'm feeling this or feeling that, or I got a decision to make. Should I take this job?" And there are stones that's supposed to guide you, but then they also have that other part of them where they do other areas
Yeah,
of
but
astrology,
let's be
which is
honest,
pretty
Ron.
cool. Hmm.
We grew up in the Bible Belt, man. You don't go to places like this. I think this is what gets me the most,
Hmm.
right? But
Well, there's a lot of
man,
things we ain't supposed to do as
we
Christians,
ain't
but we
supposed to
do.
do. But now I'm gonna tell you like this, guys. The way she ended it with, in the end, love trumps astrology. I like love Trump. If you think you love that person, you ain't listening to nobody logic anyway. So it ain't just it's trumping astrology, it's trumping everything once you decide this is the person I want and I'm gonna put up with it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Because
Right, this thing
how
got
dare
me.
we choose? How dare we chose wrong? How dare?
Absolutely. You don't want your choice. You don't want your choice to be wrong. But now you might understand, guys, by listening to this podcast and looking at this article, man, are these planets moving and they ain't paying attention? Right?
Yeah, you
Because
not. That's what I'm
because
saying. Yeah,
and
you
guess what?
not.
But here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the meteorologists need to be letting us know, right? Need to be
No,
letting
because
us know when stuff
it's
moving.
not it's not mainstream like that yet, though, right?
It
Like
it's about to be there.
it's not
It's
like
about to be.
but it sounds good though. But no, there's something to it. I think it's like 6 or 7 planets out there right now that's acting a whole
Rhonda,
fool.
evidently the planet's going crazy,
No,
right?
seriously,
Evidently
like
planet's
especially
going
if you feel
crazy.
like you could snap on
Man,
somebody
you
who's
got look,
tired
let
of
me tell y'all
BS right
this. The
now
reason why I
and
think this gonna be the next
to
thing,
stop dealing with a certain situation and stuff like yes, this
these
stuff is for
these
real.
traditional solutions ain't working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got people getting all this old stuff. And remember, Ron, last week we talked about the Miles Monroe thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Miles Monroe video about tradition, how you got to throw it away. Well,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, guys, this right here ain't gonna change because these planets been moving the same way from the foundation of the Earth, right? These planets ain't never stopped moving. So, guys, I ain't gonna lie now. I ain't gonna lie. I'm out of the game, but this is something that, from a scientific standpoint, from a physical science standpoint, man, this it's hard to dispute what she's saying. But what I wanted to do, Rhonda, as we get ready
Mm-hmm.
to, get on the second half of this thing, I want to share with y'all another article. I want to share with y'all another article, because it really comes down to compatibility, and I want to make sure we have some time to discuss it afterwards. So I'm gonna share with y'all my next article, and I should have sent this to you, Rhonda. So I apologize, but y'all know I got to always give y'all an article with bullet points and numbers. 10 signs. We over
And
here
long
very.
and long.
No, we'll get through this one quick. Verywellmind.com. We over here, guys. 10 signs you and your partner are compatible. Can you still see it, Rhonda?
Mm-hmm. I can.
Okay. Updated November 20th, 21st, 2023. Okay. Let's get it. Compatibility is an important ingredient in a relationship because it's the basis of how well you and your partner get along together. And this astrology thing, that's why I tied this to compatibility. You're looking for compatibility based on signs, but right, this is the reason I did this article. Think like being physically attracted to each other or having complementary astrology signs. Many indicate surface level, may indicate surface level compatibility. However, true compatibility often involves sharing the same values, beliefs, interests, goals, and lifestyles. Uh, Claudia Delano, a licensed marriage and family therapist. I want y'all to see now. She called astrology surface level compatibility. Why? Go back to the article, Rhonda. What did the first thing the lady say? Most people limit astrology to what's your sign,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if somebody asks you what's your sign and there ain't nothing below the surface, that's just a pickup line. Can we agree to that, Ron?
Well, yeah. I mean, look. Was it Coming to America when they were sitting in the restaurant and that lady said,
Yes.
"Oh, you know," and she had on all the garb and she,
Mm-hmm.
like, "What's your sign?" Like, yeah, no, I mean
Yes.
it's a good like
I should have pulled
very
that up. I
eighties,
should have pulled it up.
very eighties, but no, but now knowing what we know now, no, asking somebody their sign could tell you a lot about that person and how you need to move with
But
them.
I guess what I'm saying is if there's no follow up, hey, and here's what happens, guys. If somebody asks you what's your sign now, right? The next follow up question from you need to be: are you asking me that because the planets are moving in a certain direction? How the planets moving, right? What? Well, like you now got to know where's that question going? Is it a pickup line?
Or you could say, "Oh, you have like I'm gonna just use Pisces because it's just the easy one for me to think of. Oh, so that means you're fun loving. Like everything is go with the
Yes.
flow, and you love
Mm-hmm.
family. Like so, certain
Mm-hmm.
signs I know certain things about how they are. But even with my business, I have to know what their zodiac sign is, so I know how to talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because yeah, like and it's and a Scorpio ain't a Scorpio for nothing. They will sting your butt if you don't like if you come at them a
Mm-hmm.
certain way, right? But if you yeah, but you have to know if somebody's like super
So
sensitive
what?
because there's
All the Leos are your best customers.
absolutely not. They're decent. They're decent. Oh, but
Right.
it's
Right.
I think it's just a fun way. It's a fun way to break the ice with people and let them talk about themselves if need be because
Yep. Yep.
it's certain traits that we all have. It's just what it is and cancers are known for being crybabies. Yeah, sometimes I do want to cry, get
Yep.
all
Well,
weepy and stuff,
but
but
all
it
of us
just
want to
depends on the
cry.
situation. No,
The
but cancers can be like mothers slash smothers. Like they want to mother
Mm-hmm.
everybody, make sure everybody
Yeah.
good. It's certain
But
things, right?
the gospel song say, I don't know why I gotta cry sometime. That's what the gospel song say.
Yeah, because
I
you
don't
with
know
the wrong
why,
zodiac.
Lord.
You with the wrong zodiac sign.
What this article says is compatibility involves being in alignment with one another in a way that allows you to function together harmoniously. Guys, the reason I tied these two together, look at what she said, alignment. Now, in the previous article, you better know how these sun and moon signs are aligning, right? But we tell people these general words, but we ain't giving them something tangible to go search for, right? Being in alignment don't mean I'm gonna just let it go because I don't want to fight. When they pull up your car, align those tires, right? They
Hmm.
put it on the machine and make sure down to the T it's aligned. Now, if you go out and hit a bump or a pothole, it knock off the alignment. What you got to do? Take it back to the dealer. They got to figure out how is it out of alignment, and then put the stuff in there so that they can know how to get it back in alignment. And so I'm gonna skip down. I'm gonna skip down here. Importance of compatibility. It's an important factor to consider when you begin dating someone. Research shows when people meet potential partners, they unconsciously test them for compatibility against their internal criteria list. This is crazy, guys. I got this internal criteria list that the person I'm testing don't know what the damn test is. You can't test somebody without them knowing what they being tested on. So this study notes that people tend to weigh the similarities and differences between themselves and potential partners in order to check whether they're compatible and whether a relationship is viable, romantic relationship is viable. You may know you're compatible with someone when you feel like you relate to them, you enjoy their company, and your values align. I'm gonna keep using that word, align in important areas. But compatible doesn't necessarily mean that you and your partner share all the same traits, hobbies, interests, and views. But it does mean that you have a lot in common and you can communicate effectively in order to work out any differences. I'm gonna skip down 10 signs.
Yes, let's get to it.
Right, sorry, my bad. Right,
No, you fine.
I got to set it up for my audience,
No, you
and
fine.
my
I'm just ready
fans.
to see what they are. I'm ready to see what they are.
Number one, positive interactions. The positive interaction between you and your partner should outweigh the conflicts and negative experiences. What do you think about that one, Ron?
But go ahead.
No, but see, here's what it has, guys. Basically, what she's saying is you better have more positive interactions every 24-hour period than you have negative. Because if it's
Absolutely.
right, positive interactions, right? Let's
Absolutely.
get let's get to
Yeah.
the next one. Similar values. Now, here's the one that's hurting a lot of people. Here's the one that's hurting a lot of people. Family, work, lifestyle, finances, social life, politics, religion, ethics, worldviews. Now, Rhonda, what couple you know align with all that?
None.
None. This is what you guys got to understand. The reason why I'm doing this astrology thing is because at the end of the day, guys, family, work, lifestyle, finances, social life, politics, religion, ethics, and worldviews.
All reasons for divorce.
Right, those right there is going to be the
But also
reason you get
reasons
to.
to get married. Dude, I get it. Like
Well,
they
no, but guess what, guys? This all sound good on paper. When you actually in it, there ain't no synergistic effects there. Because if you ain't getting along with family, work, lifestyle, finances, so if you ain't getting along with one of them, that's gonna ruin that relationship. This is what makes this list dangerous. What do you think, Ryan, when you hear me say that?
well, I don't know if it make it like
Rhonda, one of those will ruin a relationship. If you can't get all of these right, that relationship over.
Majority of these, like you
Right?
should start with family first. That'll tell your whole
Absolutely
thing,
right.
right?
So if guys, if y'all listening to this, if you get one of these wrong, that relationship over. It don't mean y'all won't stay together. It just mean that relationship is over. This is how hard relationships are. One of these,
Yeah.
family, work, lifestyle, finance, social life, politics, religion, ethics, and worldviews. And this is why, going back to our previous article, guys, I think this astrology thing, when people start asking me about relationships now, I'm going to send them to this astrology stuff, bro.
You better, as you should.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
That's one of the first things I ask people.
Man,
And my
who you
friends too,
telling?
when they're involved with somebody, like, oh, what's they sign, girl? What's they sign?
Man, who you telling? Research shows that having similar attitudes as your partner is linked to greater happiness and relationship satisfaction, whereas having contrasting attitudes is linked to greater stress, conflict, and depression. Next one, shared long-term goals. Remember, guys, on previous podcasts, if you've listened, I said, always ask, what's your 1 year, 5 year, 10 year plan? Right? Right? And so, shared long-term goals. You got to have those discussions, right? Physical attraction is important when it comes to compatibility. In many cases, what do you think about physical attraction, Rhonda? It says instant physical attraction, more commonly known as love at first sight, can bring people closer together and inspire them to make an effort to spend time with each other and get to know one another. On the other hand, it's possible for physical attraction to develop and grow over time between people who are emotionally and intellectually compatible and have a lot of shared interests. What do you think, Ron, about physical attraction?
I think when you throw in the component of your zodiac sign, or astrological sign, I'm gonna say it like that now to give it a little more. When you throw that in, yes, I feel like more people, if they're gonna be honest with themselves, were probably more physically attractive, compatibility wise, with their person. And which is how they got all the way in and sold on this person.
Absolutely.
And then you wake up and you like, why you over here breathing again?
Yes.
Right. And but you throw that element in there, because let's just be real, combustion now. Come on, it hit you at the right time. Everything is lovely.
Everything, yes. But that combustion, guys, let me tell you, and look at what this paragraph say right here, Ron. It's important to remember physical attraction alone shouldn't be mistaken for compatibility.
But people do it all the time.
Man, if I'm attracted to you, that I've mistaken that for compatibility. And that's crazy, guys. Emotional alignment, right? They said in order to be compatible, y'all need to be emotionally aligned with each other. This involves being attuned with each other's feelings and being on similar wavelengths emotionally, which can help you develop a deep emotional connection with one another. This will gradually translate to a feeling of closeness, trust, and intimacy in relationships. If y'all ain't on the same wavelength emotionally, you need to be able to communicate what you're feeling and request. Look at this, guys. Request what you need to feel more connected and attuned. Jump in there, Rhonda. What you think about that one?
But you know how I feel about emotions and talking about all that. Like I totally agree. It's
You think love languages fall under this one?
The taboo love languages. I mean, look, if somebody wants to go that route and use that as a way, I don't know where I was the other day, and somebody said something. It was something very different that was their love language that didn't fall in one of the 5 that we have talked about on this podcast before. And I said, you know what? Like, your love language can be whatever you want it to be, however you may label it. And some people got to create their own love languages outside of those 5 that we talked about. That may work for you, and find your own spin on it. But I do know this: anybody that is emotionally suppressed or oppressed, I don't care how aligned you are. If people aren't able to speak on what they are going through or feeling without judgment and or fear of being disowned or discarded, ain't nothing about that relationship healthy. Ain't nothing about that healthy.
Absolutely, guys. Y'all got to understand this emotional alignment, guys. Y'all got to remember emotions are fleeting too now. That's why I think it's important to discuss this thing with astrology, because your emotions are tied to this thing.
They also will keep you stuck.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Similar sense of humor. Sharing a similar sense of humor and finding joy in each other's company can contribute to compatibility. Laughter and playfulness can create a positive and enjoyable relationship dynamic. Now, Ryan, I'm gonna say this: people who got the similar sense of humor can go from loving each other to hating each other quick.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, I ain't know you were joking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. What do you think about similar sense of humor,
stuff
Ryan?
hit too close to home. That's why
Mm-hmm.
if you are a sarcastic person, you better make sure your person understands your sarcasm,
Mm-hmm.
because then it become
Absolutely.
very offensive. But yeah, man, like it's but listen, you don't want to be the person on the outside looking in on the sense of humor end of things.
Absolutely, guys. I'm gonna tell
You
y'all
know?
right now. I joke a lot. And one of the things y'all gonna find is you better know who you can joke with.
Absolutely.
And that's just not in your personal relationship. That's in every relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, next one, radical honesty. Radical honesty. Another indicator of compatibility is feeling comfortable in your own skin when you're with your partner. It can be wonderful to feel like you can be your true authentic self around them, and don't feel like you have to keep secrets or hide any part of yourself from them. A good
Mm-hmm.
sign of compatibility is being able to be completely honest about your feelings, hopes, and dreams without judgment. And I can tell y'all right now, don't even try to go here. I completely disagree with her right here. You cannot be honest. You cannot be radically honest with anybody you're in a relationship with. Rhonda, that's your how you cannot be radically
Well,
honest with
I
anybody.
do agree. I do agree with you on that, because, like, one of my favorite lines to say is that people love to be lied to.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Man, that lie is therapeutic. That lie is there. I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. The number one reason you can't be radically honest with somebody. Do y'all notice when the cosmetologist or the barber is doing your hair, they don't let you look in that mirror until it's over.
yeah, I be trying though.
Right? We all trying to look at how we look.
Mm-hmm.
Go get your makeup done at Neiman's or Nordstrom's when you walking through there. Ain't nobody gonna let you look in the mirror because they want you to see the lie.
Yeah, it's
They
no
don't
different
want you.
trying on a dress in the store, some clothes. You turn around and see
Absolutely,
that
guys.
backside, you're like, oh Lord, look how big my back is.
Dig that. Dig
Yeah.
that. Right?
So yeah, you
Radical
don't look
honesty.
at, yeah, the front look great, but the back look like somebody the whole. Ain't no
Guys,
telling.
do not get with somebody who gonna be radically honest with you, because here's what y'all gonna learn now as a result of this podcast. Go back to the other article. If them planets are moving,
They moving.
you ain't gonna be in the mood for radical honesty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, timing is everything with that.
Timing is everything.
Mm-hmm. You got to
Here's
have your
another one.
safe words too. I think if you're gonna have that, you got to have your safe words where,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, that's too much.
Absolutely, guys. Mutual support. While it's great if you and your partner have same preferences, hobbies, and interests, you don't necessarily have to like all the same things in order to be compatible. Compatibility does mean enthusiastically supporting and encouraging each other's hobbies and passions. It also means respecting and accommodating their preferences, even if they're different than yours. Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all notice these are different down the list. Ain't no such thing as mutual support. These are the typical things you do by yourself and not with your partner, right? You might like to go shopping, but your partner may not like to go shopping, which basically means I'm gonna be mad the whole time you out shopping, or you gonna be mad the whole time I'm out golfing, or you gonna be mad the whole time I'm out smoking a cigar, right? All that kind of stuff. Mutual support. As y'all, the reason why I put this article up, as this list gets down to the bottom, Rhonda, I don't see a lot of this stuff happening in relationships in reality. What's your thoughts?
Of course not. Again, people are so unaware. Like, literally, I think people are always caught up in themselves to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
be concerned about all this other stuff. Buy
Yes.
me this, get me that, take me here, take me there. It's not a lot of that where you
Absolutely,
are
guys.
being deep and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Guys, don't worry about that mutual support. Let them do. Look, here's the deal. Get to mutual acceptance.
Well, and it's
I
called self
accept.
care for a reason. It's called self
Mm-hmm.
care for a
Yes.
reason.
You ain't gotta agree with my self-care, and I ain't gotta agree with your self-care. I just can't stop you from doing it. So stop doing mutual support and start doing mutual acceptance. Right? Hey, you going to do what you like? Okay, cool, man. Holla. Enjoy yourself. It's not for me to learn more about it so that I can give you a cheerleading session on your way out. Right? if guys, when they doing stuff they like and you don't, your job is to not ruin them while they're out doing it. Don't ruin the mood while they're out doing it. Okay? Effective communication. In order to be compatible, you and your partner must be able to effectively communicate. This means being able to understand and speak each other's love language. So you can give and receive love in fulfilling ways. It also means being able to communicate constructively in order to resolve conflicts. This involves being able to express yourself freely, actively listen to your partner, find solutions together, and make compromises. Jump in there, Ron. Let me know what you think.
Look, we were talking about communication earlier today, just
Yep.
in general.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if this should have been at the top of the list. This should have been at the top of the list. Because the breakdown in communication will have everybody lying to themselves or telling themselves stories that's not even real. So yeah, this effective communication is huge.
I just think, guys, let me tell you this. A relationship should not be compromised all the time. At some point, if one person is compromising all the time, and another person ain't compromised, now you out of balance, guys. And that's why I like that word alignment. I like that word alignment. That's why I
like the zodiacs, because they'll let you know.
This is why we tying this thing in now. That's why we tying this thing in. As I say on my short form content, if Rhonda and Jeff on something, they're crazy. Because one of the things you're gonna find, if it's one person who always feel like they're compromising, and the other person don't ever compromise, I don't care, guys. It ain't gonna work. Okay. The next one is acceptance. The last one is acceptance. Right? While your partner may have positive qualities, as human beings, we will have some more challenging qualities too. True compatibility means being aware of the other shortcomings and practicing accepting them for who they are, flaws and imperfections in all. As long as there's no intentional harm being done to anyone. Guys, I can tell you like this. Why get in a relationship if there's not that compatibility up front? So now I got to learn at the end to just accept that. That's what I'm telling you. We got to go back to this astrology thing, because if I'm going to accept it, I need to know how to cope with this acceptance. What do you think, Rain?
Well, not only that, you need to know what type of zodiac sign you're dealing with so that you already know up front. It's some cutthroat ones out here. It's some that are pushovers. It's some that are natural born leaders. It's some out here that just don't give a F about nothing. And then you wonder why you in your feelings feeling like you with a narcissist. You'll understand why if you knew what their sign meant in general.
Absolutely,
and
guys.
Go like me, an extra step, have a whole birthday book for each day to let you know.
Told y'all she the relationship expert. And did she tell y'all? Did she tell y'all she?
I can tell you what I do. But again, y'all out here in relationships.
Five guys got to figure it out.
Single. So y'all in relationships living y'all best life. I'm over here single eating Five Guys and sipping on Baileys.
I had these Five Guys on Sunday. That thing hit too.
Yeah,
but guys, that's a minute too. But that's what y'all got to understand. This acceptance thing, you better head back over to astrology stuff. And one of the things you're gonna find, guys, is once you get in a relationship, you don't want to get out of it. So this acceptance thing, a lot of people are accepting way more and compromise and all this kind of stuff. And guys, that becomes more of a chore than anything, right? That becomes more of a chore than anything. So while I wanted to make sure we did this, podcast around it, is because I finally think I found something that people can actually use to help get them through some of their rough patches. And this astrology, zodiac, horoscope, all this kind of stuff, right? Back in the day when I was listening to the Tom Joyner Morning Show, he used to always do the horoscopes.
But he joked about them.
He joked about them, but they would be accurate. That man would be like, hey, yo, don't let nobody push you off today. You going crazy.
Yeah.
Right? You thought maybe you were there laughing about it as you sit in traffic.
It's the truth.
It's true. It's true. Rhonda, give me your closing thoughts for the night. What's the nugget you want to leave these people with tonight?
Y'all better stop sleeping on these zodiacs and these planets and get your whole life and learn about it so you can understand why things work and why they don't work for you in your relationships, friendships, family ships, all of that.
Yeah. And look, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all,
get your birth chart reading from a reputable person.
Guys, Rhonda, I appreciate that. My closing thought is, guys, if ain't nothing else working, what is it gonna hurt for you to try? the zodiacs and the astrology, because at the end of the day, at least they offering a tangible solution and can give you some understanding on why
Absolutely.
you might be stuck in a season, but the planets then moved. And now if I make this move, the planet's going to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest, guys.
Yes.
These planets ain't stopped moving since the foundation of the earth.
God put this here for us.
Right? And so my closing thought is, guys, if you are in a relationship, you got to use every tool in the toolbox. Well, I can tell you guys, as a guy who grew up in the Bible Belt and all this kind of stuff, I've stayed away from this kind of stuff. And as I was getting prepared for this podcast, I realized that there's a lot of people dealing with stuff. And again, because I use my business training for everything. That's what I tell people. I use logical training for everything. But here's what I'm learning now after doing this podcast and after doing these articles. These suns and these moons and these planets start moving. And even your training ain't gonna work. And you realize you might get stuck in a system or stuck in a rut and realizing why you ain't coming out of it because the planets have moved and you haven't.
Yeah.
And guys, ain't nothing worse than going back to a pond that then dried up, wondering why the water ain't there. Because again, all because of tradition. I got to go back to the same water fountain, the same water source, and it then dried up. Mm-hmm. So I think, guys, that's the whole point behind this, man. I just wanted to make sure we gave the listeners, the viewers, a chance to see some stuff and have a conversation on it, man, because I think this is another tool you can use in your toolbox to help get you to the next level, man. And y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. All of my information is below. Make sure you follow me on the socials. If you hadn't already, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications. Before I get out of here, man, I got to thank my resident relationship and zodiac and astrology and horoscope birth chart expert. Let me know where they can find me at on the socials.
You can find me on IG at RMBLMBT.
Man, y'all do us a favor, man. If Rhonda and Jeff crazy or they own or something, get down in the comment section. Get down in the comment section. Let us know what you think, man. And until next time, we gonna holler.